What's going on, homie? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being here. In today's video, I'm gonna take you through 15 to 20 knee strengthening exercises that you can do before your training to make sure that your knees are bulletproof. I always say the number one way for you to move up the ranks as a footballer is to consistently play games and get game experience. Every agent that I've spoken to and that I've worked with always say that your most important asset as a footballer are the minutes that you are on the pitch. Injury prevention may not be sexy, but it's the most important thing for you to move up the ranks. It's sexy to talk about improving strength, improving power, improving explosiveness, but if you're not on the pitch, you're never gonna move up the ranks. So I'm gonna walk you through all these exercises, do them step by step, listen to every single cue, and I promise you, you will bulletproof your knees, which is gonna make sure that you're on the field and it's gonna help you overall improve your power, speed, and strength. Because if you have the ability to consistently train, you're gonna improve over time. Let's get into it. The top 3 injuries that footballers experience are knee injuries, ankle injuries, and groin injuries. I've done a video on ankle injuries. Today we're gonna cover knees, and next week we're gonna cover the groin. Let's get into it. So before we get into the actual exercise and the workout, one of the most important things is to make sure that you up your heart rate and you get the blood flowing and the oxygen into the tissue. So what we're gonna do is a simple osteoarticular warm-up, get our body ready, and then we're gonna get into the specific knee exercises. After your 2 to 3 minute cardiovascular warm-up, we're gonna get into some knee circles. So what I want you to do is have your legs, your feet touching, your knees slightly apart. You can have your hands on your hips, and all you're gonna do is you're gonna create a circle with your knee. It's 10 each direction. So you let that heel come off the ground a little bit, and then you switch directions. So next thing we're gonna go into is figure eights. Same exact thing, you're gonna create a figure 8 with your knees. Slowly let those heels come off the ground. Ten each side. So the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna be working the articular genou. The articular genou is the small little muscle that not many people know about that is very important for the stabilization of the patella, the stabilization of the kneecap. So it's the little muscle that connects the patella to the quad. It's deep underneath here. I'll include a picture here for you. Basically what we're gonna do is you get yourself either a small couch or something to just elevate your foot on. So basically what you're gonna do for this exercise is you're gonna put your shin on the suitcase or whatever you got, and then you're gonna put your leg in front. What you wanna do is you wanna drag the skin of the patella of the knee forward so you create a little bit of downward pressure into the patella. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna do about 30 kicks just to pump some blood into the quad and the kneecap. So all you wanna do is just kick that foot into the suitcase, the chair, the couch, whatever you're working. And like I said, it stimulates the blood flow. Then what you're gonna do after you do your pumps, you're just gonna stay in this position statically. So your whole goal is you're trying to pull that kneecap forwards. As you pull that kneecap forwards, it's creating a downward pressure, downward motion of the patella. So what you're doing here is you're creating some space there in the patella, creating some oxygen and some movement. The problem with a lot of people who have jumper's knee and patellofemoral syndrome is the fluid in there gets stuck and it's like butter. We want it like oil. We don't want it to be like butter. So simple, 3 sets of 30 seconds on each leg. I'm gonna show you on the left leg. So 30 pumps with each leg, I'm gonna show you, and then 30 seconds of a static hold. So like I said, same exact setup. You have your other knee forward, have your elbows on the ground, and then you just start with your pumps. Good, after your 30 pumps, like I said, your goal is to try to bring that kneecap forward. Great, after 3 sets of 30 seconds, we move on to our proprioception exercises. So proprioception exercises are very important because the proprioceptors in the joint, in the ligaments, are the brain of that actual joint. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create some awareness there, and then what we do when we create that awareness, we have the ability for that joint to be more stable. The proprioception of the ligament allows the stabilization of the joint. So we're improving the proprioception of the ligaments around the knee, which is gonna create more stability in that knee. All right, so like I said, we're going into the proprioception of the knee. First thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna be working on the patella and the patellofemoral syndrome. Most important here, like I always tell my one-on-one clients, is make sure you take off your shoes. Get the shoes off. If your gym kicks you out, that's fine. Tell them your boy Ricky said shoes off is a priority. So what we're gonna do is, foot is on the ground, we're gonna try to lift all the toes. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a nice bent knee over those toes. So if you're first beginning, what I want you to do is I want you to get on the wall, but I wanna show you the exercise first and then I'll get on the wall. So what you wanna do is you wanna drive this kneecap forward, you wanna lift all the toes, you wanna lift that other leg, and then you're creating an anterior pelvic tilt with your pelvis. So you're allowing that pelvis to tilt forward. Generally, we don't want that in most exercises, but we want that here because we want the tension off the quad and we want it on the patella. So what you're gonna do here is you're gonna be working for about 1 to 3 sets times 30 to 60 seconds on each exercise. Once you get good at it and you really have that balance down, you can start to close the eyes. Cool, now I'll show you from the side view. So generally for beginners, what I like to do is I have them set up first on the wall. Like I said, we lift the toes. We want the tripod of the foot, so that means the bone here near the pinky, the bone here near the big toe, and we want that full heel down. Next step, drive the knee forward, create the anterior pelvic tilt with the pelvis. And then when you're ready and you feel stable, you let your hand off the wall. And you just breathe here. Like I said, if it feels good, you start to close the eyes. Then after you're done, you'll have a little walk around, and then obviously you switch to the other side. So the next exercise we're gonna be working on the ACL. So we're gonna be working on the ACL proprioception. This is one of the most common injuries in footballers, so doing this regularly is very important. So, same exact thing, what we want to do is we want to create that tension at the foot. Now our goal is to lift the big toe. A lot of you might not be able to do this. So all I want you to do is just try to envision just lifting the big toe. This is gonna help that mind muscle connection, that mind joint, that mind foot connection, which is very important. So what we wanna do is we wanna try to lift that big toe. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna have a nice knee bend forward, and then we're just gonna have a slight lean back. So what we're gonna do here, tripod of the foot, lift those arms, and then we're gonna have a slight lean back. Continue to try to drive that knee forward, remain balanced, try to lean that body back. Like I said, once you have it down, start to close the eyes. You fall, get up, continue the exercise. You walk around, and then you get back into it. Next exercise, we're gonna be working on the MCL, the medial collateral ligament. What we're gonna be doing here, once again, same position with the foot, but with the knee, we're driving that knee in. So we're creating a valgus position. This is the position that you never wanna be in when landing, but when you train this, if you do land in that position, you're much more likely not to get injured. So what you wanna do, same exact protocol. Focus first on the foot, try to lift the big toe, control those toes, and then you want to drive that knee in and you want to create a posterior pelvic tilt. So opposed to the anterior, you're creating a posterior. This is anterior, this is posterior. So what you're going to do here, lock that foot in, drive that knee in, and then you create that posterior pelvic tilt, and you can slightly tilt over that knee. A lot of these exercises aren't sexy, but these proprioception exercises are probably the most important ones for the health of the knee, to keep you on the pitch. Constantly be trying to drive the knee in, find the balance. Once you're ready, you close the eyes. Good. When you're done, take a couple steps around, and then you obviously switch to the other leg. And the last exercise for the day, we're gonna be working on the LCL, the lateral collateral ligament. So, same exact setup basically, but what we're doing is we're driving the knee out. Posterior pelvic tilt, drive that knee out, same exact process. So, foot down on the ground, do our best to lift the big toe, and then what we want to do is aim to drive the knee out. Once you got it down, you can close the eyes. Good. All right, so those first 8 exercises are ones that you can do anytime. I recommend those about 3 to 6 times per week. Most importantly, if you feel any pain during those exercises, I would highly advise stopping the exercise immediately and seeing a local trusted physio. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna work on specific strengthening of the muscles around the knee. So first exercise we're gonna work on is a glute medius raise. The glute medius is very important for the stabilization of the pelvis. So basically when you take one step, the contralateral glute medius is very important for the stabilization of the pelvis. So when you have a strong glute medius on both sides, it really helps the overall improvement of the joints, the knees, the ankles, and the hips in that leg. So very simple, all we're gonna do is we're gonna be lying on the side. You're gonna start first with your knees bent at 90 degrees. And then the first one, what you're gonna do is you're gonna be working over the arch of the foot. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna turn those toes down, and then you're simply just gonna be lifting the leg. So what you wanna do is you wanna drive that heel towards the sky. So what we don't want is we don't want those hips rolling back. We want the hips rolling forward. If the hips roll back, the exercise is gonna get into your hip flexor. We want the exercise in the glute medius. So generally what I suggest for one-on-one clients is between 20 to 100 reps. The goal is to be able to do 3 sets of 100 reps. Once you do that, you know you got a strong glute medius. So that's one angle. The second angle that I like to work is directly over the knee, so 90 degrees. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna fully twist that leg, toe pointed down, same exact motion. Like I said, 20 to 100 reps. For beginners, I would probably start with 3 sets of 20 to 40 reps. That is angle 2. Angle 3 is gonna be directly in line. So this is the traditional one. So what you wanna do, same exact thing, toes turned down, lifts. Breathe through the exercise. You wanna feel it in the glutes. If you don't feel it, what you can do is you can actually palpate that glute medius. So you just hit it a little bit to turn it on, and then once the muscle feels it, it's much easier to get that mind-muscle connection. So what you can do for that 3-way series is you can work for 3 sets of 10 to 50 reps on each, or you can work the specific angle based on what you're working on. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna work on some reverse Nordics. So basically what you're gonna do is there are many positions for this one. We're gonna start first with the traditional position. So knees are shoulder width, feet are shoulder width, and then you're gonna go down, you can go as far as you can, and then slightly back up. If you have less mobility, just go to here. Basically what you're working here is you're working the distal quad. So you're working the part of the quadricep that is furthest away from the midline, from the midsection. So it's higher up. So what you wanna do is you wanna remain in a nice posterior pelvic tilt. And for this one, you can go 2 to 4 sets, 15 to 25 reps. Then what you wanna do if you wanna get more advanced is you can work this position. So knees are together, feet are together. Same exact thing. Like I said, between 5 to 25 reps. Next position you want to work is feet together, knees wide. Feet together, knees wide, same exact thing. I'm going to do 5 for the sake of the video. This one works more the outside part of the quad. Good. And then the last one are knees together, feet wide. Good, and then if you wanna make it harder, obviously you can add a weight, and then also what you can do is you can have a nice bench behind you, so you can go down towards that bench and test the mobility. So the next exercise we're gonna be working are knees over toes calf raises. Obviously invented by Ben Patrick or named by him. So what you wanna do is you wanna have your hands on the wall and you wanna have the knees directly over the toes. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna try to get as much range as possible. You have a slight lean, let those heels come down as much as possible and you raise. Heels come down as much as possible and you raise. Good, for those, you should go about 2 to 4 sets of about 10 to 40 reps. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna work on the gastrocnemius. So there are 2 main parts of the calf. You have the soleus and you have the gastrocnemius. Obviously you also have the anterior tibialis and the posterior tibialis, but right now we're just focusing specifically on the calf region. Those knee over toes calf raises worked on the soleus. This one is gonna work on the gastrocnemius. So, same exact thing, just a traditional calf raise. If you're a beginner, you can start here, just up and down. Try to get as high as you can. Try to let those heels come down as much as you can. Full range of motion. And then if you're more advanced, you could do the same exact thing, single legged. So what you want to do, you tuck that leg. So for the double leg calf raises, you can work high reps here. So about 2 to 5 sets of about 10 to 100 reps. If it's too easy and you have access to weights, do the same exact motion with weights. If it's too easy, you also progress to the single leg calf raise, and for that you work for about 2 to 5 sets of about 10 to 40 reps. Let's get into the next one. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna be working on simple lunges. The lunge is an excellent exercise to work on the strength of the knees. You can do various variations. First thing we're gonna do is a simple, regular lunge. So all you're gonna do, one foot in front of the other, you can start almost in this hip flexor stretch type position, and then what you wanna do is you wanna drive through the center of that foot and the ball of the foot, almost the whole of the foot, to drive yourself up. And then what you wanna do is you wanna coordinate the arms with the leg. Ten for the sake of the video. Obviously, both legs. So same exact thing. And then if you have access to the gym, same exact thing, just use weights. And then the next variation we can work on is the knee over toes lunge. Like I said, start body weight. Once you perfect it, you move into holding weights. Same exact thing, one leg in front of the other. And then all we're gonna do here is we're gonna completely drive this knee over the toe, which is gonna lengthen that back hip flexor. So you're working on hip mobility as well as quad strength and knee strength. And this is what we're gonna do. Just drive that knee over, let the knee touch the ground, and back. Drive the knee over, drive through the ball of the foot, keep that heel off the ground. Other leg. Good, and then for that one, you're gonna be working for about 2 to 5 sets or about 4 to 20 reps. That obviously depends on where you are in the season, your goal, your training experience, and if you're using weights or not. For the lunges, same exact thing, 2 to 5 sets for about 3 to 20 reps. So last strength exercise for the day. You know your boy Ricky is unique. I'm sure none of you have ever seen this exercise. I've learned this from one of the best strength coaches, best physios in the game, osteopath Guy Voyer. Works with a ton of top footballers. He worked with guys like Zidane, tons of other players. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna bend the knee. So you'll be working the left leg. So what you wanna first do, there's 3 different positions. Just for the sake of the video, I'm gonna work for about 5 to 10 reps in each position. So most important thing is you wanna keep your back on the ground the entire time. So that means you need to be in a posterior pelvic tilt. You wanna have crown of the head driving towards the wall behind you. You wanna create length. The goal is to create length while remaining stable. So knee bent, and the only motion that you're gonna be doing is you're driving the heel into the ground. You see there's not a lot of motion at all. So you're just driving the heel into the ground. You should feel an instant flex of the glute. So first position, like I said, across the midline. Next position, directly in line with your leg. And then the last position, out. And then obviously you're gonna be doing the same thing on the other leg, and reps and sets for this, you can go for about 1 to 4 sets of about 10 to 50 reps on each position. And then the last part of this is making sure you stretch. After you do this workout, even if you do this as a prehab workout, you make sure you stretch after the session. Main goal is we're stretching the psoas, we're stretching the quads, we're stretching the calves and the hamstring. All those muscles have direct relation to the knee, and you have to release that after your training and after your strength training. First thing we're gonna be stretching is the quad, probably the most important muscle for the knee. Hard to argue, but hamstring, calf is also important. So what we're gonna do, if you're a beginner, you grab with one hand, the opposite foot, and then you're gonna have the hand on a chair. So what you wanna do in the beginning is just get into the stretch. You wanna be on the VMO. You wanna be on the teardrop muscle. You don't wanna be directly on the patella. So you wanna lean on that VMO, and you wanna slightly move yourself forward. So for each of these stretches, I like to go 3 sets of 30 seconds. The first stretch, you're at about 50 to 60%. Second stretch, 70 to 80%. Third stretch, 90 to 100%. So if you're more advanced, what you can do is you grab the full foot, and then your goal is to bring that heel towards your butt, and then same exact thing, leaning on that front leg. Good, you come out of it. And then the last one, like I said, fully at 90 to 100%. So you're really pulling that heel into your butt, complete stretch of the quad. Good. So make sure you do that 3 sets of 30 seconds on each leg. I'm just gonna show you an assisted stretch that you can use. If you buy one of these assisted bands, you can also use a sock. So all you wanna do, you hook that up. So it's just assistance. So working the next quad, So what you can do here is you grab the band with the same hand, and then all we're gonna be doing is the exact same stretch, but we're pulling on this band and we're pulling on the foot at the same time. Good, you release out of it. If you feel like you don't need the band, you grab with both hands. Good. Like I said, 3 sets of 30 seconds. Next stretch we're gonna be working is the psoas. So what you wanna do here is you got the knee that is down, that's the muscle that you're stretching. You wanna have that leg outwards, so you're creating internal rotation of the hip. And then what you wanna do is you're driving that forward, but you're not losing the pelvis. So like I said, there's 3 sets here. So the first set, we're just working with the arms pushing towards the wall in front of you. You wanna create a nice long head, completely erect through the spine, and you breathe. Next variation, second set, I like to go into more of the distal part. So again, foot out, we want the elbow on the knee, and then we're gonna create some length through here. So it's a slight side bend. You're pushing that hand towards the wall to engage the fascia. Same thing, left leg. So first find your position, remain tall, long. "30 seconds here, and then 2 sets of 30 seconds here. Breathe in and out through the nose the entire time. So next exercise we're gonna be working is the stretch of the biceps femoris. 3 parts of the hamstring. Biceps femoris is in direct relation to the knee. So what we're gonna do, feet in line with each other, and then what we're gonna do is the leg that we're stretching, we wanna pull that back, and then we wanna open this foot, and then we wanna take this leg across the midline. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna have our hand here, almost in our pocket, and then we're gonna slightly lean over that leg. Allow for an anterior pelvic tilt here, and you're just trying to get length. What you wanna do with the heel is you're trying to drive the heel forward as strong as you can, where it almost comes off the ground, and you should feel a nice stretch along the outside of your leg there. Breathe in and out through the nose, pull the toes towards the face, and really lengthen through that hamstring. When you're done, release it out. Like I said, 3 sets, 30 seconds each leg. Not showing you the whole thing for the sake of the video. Shake it out, same exact thing. Leg you're stretching, you pull that hip back. You let this leg roll open. You almost create a stand for yourself. Upright, across the midline, toes towards the face, heel away, tons of cues here. And then we get over that leg. Breathe in and out through the nose. Like I said, for these stretches, first stretch 50 to 60%, second stretch 70 to 80%, third stretch 90 to 100%. Really try to get that length and improve the quality of the tissue. Last stretch of the day, we're gonna be working the gastrocnemius, very important for the health of the knee. So all we're gonna be doing is you're gonna find yourself a wall. You're gonna start out with your hands open on the wall. You're gonna have your feet out. So you're gonna have your feet externally rotated. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna step forward you're stretching this back leg, and then what you want to do is you're trying to drive that heel into the ground as much as you can to open up that calf. You're trying to drive the front knee forward, and then when you feel ready, you completely lengthen the fascial line there. Same thing, other side. Perfect. Same principle, 3 sets of 30 seconds. So hope you enjoyed the video. I just want to go over a couple general recommendations for you. Like I said in the beginning, you can do this about 1 to 6 times per week. So specifically with the beginning exercises, the knee circles, all those articulations of the joint, as well as the proprioception exercises, you can do those 6 times per week. When we talk about the strength exercises that we worked on, you can do those probably maximum 3 times per week. Once you get those down, obviously start to add weight to them. And then obviously with the stretches, if you are having knee pain, you can do those every single day. And I promise you, they will help release that knee, which is gonna reduce the pain. But like I said in the beginning, if you have any pain or burning sensation during these exercises, stop it immediately and see a local physio. And if you want something more specific, hire a coach to program you and periodize based on you and your goals. Anyways, hope you liked the video. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Deuces. And I forgot to mention, I just released my How to Become a Pro free masterclass. 5 days of $1,500 worth of value for free. Day 1, we talk about how to program your gym plan as a footballer, and I give you a free 1-month gym program, $600 worth of value for free. If you want to improve your speed, strength, and explosiveness on the field, that is for you. Day 2, I talk about nutrition for footballers. I give you my 10 RicFit foundational rules. You also get a free How to Get Lean guide from your boy RicFit himself. Day 3, we talk about pro tips. I bring my guy Sohail Var on. I give you a sneak peek of the app, and he gives you 3 pro tips on how to sign your first pro contract or maintain your pro status. And I also give you 72 free crusher workouts, no equipment needed, do it anywhere. Day 4, I give you a 14-day free ball mastery program, and I also introduce you the ultimate tool for your football development to improve your confidence on the pitch. Day 5, finally, I give you a free 8-week body weight program that you can do anywhere without equipment, and I talk more specifically about how to plan a gym program for you. If you want that, make sure you go to the link below in the bio and drop your email. Anyways, see you later and have a great rest of the day. Deuces. Hope you enjoyed that video. Make sure you click one of these 2 videos right here to stay up to date with the best football development channel here on YouTube. And most importantly, don't forget to drink your sparkling water. Deuces.